Hello, gorgeous ones. Kylie Patchett here, mindset coach for women entrepreneurs. And today, welcome back to another episode of Paddock Ponderings. To continue our theme of light, I would love to share a little shift that I've had in relation to shining your light through being devoted rather than determined. Now, I've always had a quite masculine way of turning up towards myself. So I talk a lot about honoring yourself and about deep self-love. And when I even wrote a book about this a few years ago, I used the term radical self-respect, which on reflection is quite a masculine kind of strivey way of looking at taking care of yourself. Now, a shift that I've gone through personally in the last little while is the fact that rather than using the language of being determined to get to an end goal, so determined to get to my big 3 goals in my business this year, or determined to get to my big 3 goals in my personal life this year, something that a client actually said to me, and thank you, you know who you are if you're listening to this, she used the word devotion, and all of a sudden something clicked for me. Doesn't that feel different? Instead of being determined, which is all about push and strive and achievement, and almost by balance, making yourself wrong if it's not all working, devotion to me feels so much more feminine and receptive and open to the magic that the universe has for you as well. Devotion to me also is a deep connection to doing and being the way that it needs to be, that you need to show up for yourself to actually align to those big things. So if you're saying to yourself, this is the year that I'm going to earn $100,000 in the first time in my business, and we won't even go into whether that's profit or revenue, but if that's your intention for this year, rather than being determined to get there, which is, push, why not be devoted? Why not ask yourself, what does it need to take? What does it reverse engineering actually take for me daily to get to $100,000? How much do I have to make every single day of my business or every single week of my business to get to $100,000? How can I be devoted to that goal because it's important to me? How can I be devoted to the why behind that, the energy behind that, the inspiration behind that? How can I set myself up for success towards that goal by understanding the daily, weekly, and monthly things that I need to do to live into that goal? Doesn't that feel so much better? Devotion to something. And let's take it up a notch. What about if you were to say, this year I set an intention to be devoted to myself, devoted to my own life purpose living into through my business, devoted to creating abundance that will create a cradle for myself, for my loved ones, maybe for my family, devoted to my own self-care because I understand that the energy I bring into my business is the energy of attraction, or on the other hand, a repelling energy, depending on how well I look after myself. What if I was to choose to be devoted to fostering beautiful relationships, to choose to be devoted to my physical health, to choose to be devoted to moving every day because that's what my body needs, to eating well because that's what my body needs, to resting deeply because that's what my body needs? What if I was to choose to be devoted to continuing to create a connection with the people that I can most help? What if I was to choose to be devoted to showing up and staying in my genius zone and shining, to being the light that the people who can't access the transformation that you help them access can access for themselves? What about that? What about that sort of devotion? So I hope that might be a little shift that helps you to make 2016 one of those years where you set an intention and it actually happens because you're choosing consciously, powerfully, in a feminine way to show up for yourself, to show up for your business, to show up for your loved ones. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for the opportunity to be in your ears and eyes each week. And I'll speak with you soon.